Okie dokie, this will probably be a very long video, and probably nothing will happen, and I won't say anything important, and I'm not gonna. This isn't that kind of video. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to do a little bit of gameplay here of the loader test. So you see I have the drone menu, and I have all these different arenas, and then I have the rock hopper menu, and I have all these different arenas. But the loader, there's only one level, and there's only. You just go straight to it. So now here I am, and let me just look at my camera here, and so you can see I'm still in the reset field, so let me get out of the reset field. And so now here's the loader from the front, and you see I've got my two big tanks of gas and some RCS thrust, and then there's a camera array at the top. So on the top of the cameras, I went over this already in my other video, there's a camera that looks around and stays where you leave it, and then there's a camera that I need to worry about this jitter. I'm sure there's got to be some kind of way to handle this jitter. It's correlated directly to the joystick position. So that jitter is just something I'm going to have to figure out. I don't know. I don't know what the right thing to do about that is. Some kind of way to stabilize the jitter. And then the other camera, you can't move it around. It's mounted right to the front. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to try to build a little level really quick and then fly around it one time with the race mode. So I'll go ahead and switch to my warp loader, and you can see the warp loader is a little bit like the warp hopper, except this one is the warp loader in space. So I can warp around, and it can move quite fast if I'm trying to work on a big map or something like that, and I just want to get over here really fast. I'm not constrained by the limitations of physics. This is the warp ship. It can do everything, kind of like for Minecraft or whatever. So my goal here is going to be, of course, I'm going to have a freight dock bay right there. Here, it looks so goofy just sitting there by itself. Let me get rid of this. Let me find an obstacle to put it up against. Let me mount it to this rock. How big is that rock? So now we have this space station built into the side of this rock. And of course there must be something in there. So let me go find another object to plug into the side of this thing. Okay, how am I gonna put this here? Let me just put it right there like this. Alright, and now I need a square object. Here we go. Alright. So into the front of this door. No, I need another one. Let me see what I've got going on here. Right there. Recenter my camera. Alright. So now into that, I'm going to place my docking port. So you can see it kind of gives it a bit of a slam when it gets to where you can't hide those parts anymore. And that's how I know that it's a good place for it. So now my docking port is hooked up to that container, and I need to come deliver some freight over here. So my freight, I only got one freight. It's going to be over here, and I need a docking port over here as well. But I'm going to go ahead and try to put this one straight onto the space station. just dock to that. So my stuff will be over here. Then I'll go take this one over to here. And then I'll take it back over to here. So my logic there is going to be that I'll have to go through some hoops. So once I bring it over here, then I'll have to go through this hoop right here. I'm just going to have to go through hoops for people. And then I'll be able to grab it again, because you know, you always gotta, once they finish filling that container back up with gas, and I go do some running through hoops for people. Now that hoop's kind of small, so I need a bigger hoop to bring the freight through. So I'll use this red one right here. So this freight is gonna go back over there. I'm gonna have to take it down under here and go through that hoop. But when I bring it through the first time, it's crazy. I'm gonna come way over here. Okay. So I got a hoop up there and a hoop down there that I'm gonna fly through. That's gonna direct which direction I'm gonna fly. And then once I hook it up over here, that's the end of the race. It'll just be a one-time through thing. A line race, if you will. Okay, so now I'm going to build the race. I'm going to start over here. No. Yes. I'm going to start over here. And I'm going to go through hoops for people. So when I build this race, what's my build race button? So I'm building the race. So I'm going to start off. I'm going to see if I don't even know if I can fit this guy through this hoop. I'm going to go through this hoop. Go through this hoop. Oh, what's going on here? It's not building hoops into the race. Why isn't it building my hoops into the race? Okay, is it going to build these other hoops into the race? No. Something's wrong. It's not building hoops into the race. But I'm not phased. I'm going to use my imagination. So the first thing that's going to happen is I'm going to end up over here. Let me press stop. It's adding that to the race. What the heck? Then I'm going to connect up to this so that I can... Oh, I need some more power. Take it where it's going to go. So I'll just have to use my imagination, but I can't build the hoops into the race. So then I'm going to add it here, so I'm going to add that to the race. And I always put this off to the side just because there's a little bit of a... Then I'm going to fly around through there. Then I'm going to come back up here again. I'm going to add this to the race. And it's going to come back over here. It would go through that hoop, but I'm not sure why the hoops are not adding to race. That's weird. I know what it is. I figured it out. I'll fix that in a little bit. Then I press dock, and that'll be the end of the race. So I'll just put this back over here where it was, roughly. And there we go. So now I have these 4 hoops into the race. So now it's time to switch back to the space drone. Go back to my normal velocities here. And I'm racing. Oh wait, that's infinite laps. I don't want to do that. I'm going to first set line race once through each gate. And count on the first gate. Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to count on reset after countdown. And then when I press race, ready, 3, 2, 1, go. So now my timer is counting down. So I know that I need to go to this freight. Oh, look, it's working. At least that part's working. And then I can just fly over here, and I'm on the right camera, so then I can just line up with this dock port. You can move the reset location. I didn't do that, but to a more official looking start location. I'm connected. Now I can't see, so I gotta switch up to this other camera. I'll use this one so that I can look around. And so now I need to get moving here, but I need to rotate, but if I try to rotate, that's gonna take all day. So instead what I gotta do is I gotta translate, and then because the weight is out in front of me, when I translate, that gives me rotation. But it also gives me acceleration. So no good. Here I am. I'm already way out of control. And so I was going to go up to that gate over there. So let me see if I can try to drive this thing over to that gate over there. See, I can't drive at all. It's quite hard. Man, I got a lot of acceleration. Alright, so now we get aimed up kind of more correctly. But I got a lot of horizontal acceleration, so that's no good. Oh, I gotta hit the brakes. There we go. Now I'm driving. Nope, I'm not driving. It's not going right. Alright. Alright, here we go. And I'm on the way. Let me just use rotation to try to get pointed a little more accurately. Takes a long time, but at least I don't get quite so much horizontal acceleration. And I don't want to go too fast, because then I'll get out of control again. So I'm making it through this gate. Let me give it some brakes so I don't get out of control. I'm sure that you can use brakes to rotate once you kind of... Oh, I didn't aim very well. Okay. Get control of the situation. It's quite hard to drive this thing. Just need to get figured out. It's kind of working, getting lined up here, getting control of the situation. I'm not doing that good at driving, but it's not the end of the world here. Looks like within 5 minutes I got lined up to the first docking port, so not so bad. Not that easy to do, huh? So now I'm in the docking field, so then you can see that I got an additional plus sign. And actually I got too close, so I bounced into it. But I just need to get it lined up correctly. And for this, I'm using rotation a lot more. And now I'm connected. There we go. As soon as you see that square, you can connect. So now that I'm connected, if I press dock again, I'll unhook the ship. And now it's time that I will fly through the rings that, even though I couldn't add them to the race because I forgot a mundane detail in the code, I can still fly through them. I can just use my imagination. I know that they're supposed to be there. But, oh, I can't aim the ship because I never flew it before, so I don't know how big it is. Alright. Once you're disconnected, translation doesn't affect your rotation anymore, so I should barely fit through here. So I just need to figure out what lined up looks like. So now I'm too low. Well, no, wait, oh. Okay. And there we have it. I made it through using the top camera. So with the top camera, I know that I just need to get very close to the top with it, and then everything else is below me. Yeah, there we go. Very small rings. Minimum size. Oh. But I made it through, so I'm going to keep on the trucking. So something's not going correctly here because it says the next hoop is 4. So somehow I didn't add the weight itself to the race that second time. I don't know, I thought I did, but I must have not hit the button at the right time. Maybe my ship was floating around, but I can't finish it anyways without grabbing it, so I can't dock to that thing over there without one. So then just switch back to my docking port camera here. Jeez, some erroneous thrust. Alright, I'm connected, and then I can disconnect from the freight bay. Now I need to get turned around, so let me get a look out here. So I need to get turned around here. Alright, and this time I want it to go down. Alright, so now I'm kind of moving in the right direction, so I'll just let myself go nice and slow. And I have that time, so I'll just let my rotation handle my rotation instead of... So at least this part got added to the race, because now, even though some of those other checkpoints didn't make it in, that won't affect my finish time. My finish time will still be the same either way. So I'm trying to get lined up here, and I'm coming up on 11 minutes. So hopefully in under 15 I can get docked to this port over here, but it took me under 11 to get all the way here, so hopefully it'll work out in my favor. Just want to get nice and lined up. I'm in the docking field. My lineup is not that bad. There I am. Race finished. Timer on reset. So my first lap there was 11 minutes 20 seconds, 6/10 of a second, and 8:33 after that. So that was a demonstration of the new features in Ace Racers SP. This is a new ship. It's a freight loader. So just to look back at everything again, we have the drone, and that's like a small drone. Then we have a lander style vehicle, which I call the Rockhopper, and now I don't have any pictures of it, but we have the loader. So I'll have to go ahead and put some loader pictures in here so you can see the other ones. The warp ship goes with the space drone, the Rockhopper gets the warp hopper, and then we need a warp loader and a loader. And I'm gonna have to change these instructions quite a bit as well, because I need to figure out if I need to talk about how to correctly dock and stuff like that. Okie dokie, thank you very much. That was Ace Racers SP. It's available for free on itch.io.